you're the one that you've been looking for. And I'm just here to remind you of that. I've created this channel to learn things and then to share them with you.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Man of Letters. I'm your host, Keith, here to bring you knowledge, information, and a bit of entertainment. As you guys all know, the homie Nipsey has passed. I would pour some liquor out for the homie, but we're out. We ran out a few days before his passing. Coincidence? I think not. Anywho, like a million other of you, I was not aware of what was going on with this Dr. Sebi guy, right? So the conspiracy is Nipsey was killed because of his documentary on Dr. Sebi, who himself was killed because of things he did. If you don't know about him, he's this dude who cures cancer and AIDS and all kinds of other things. They took him to court in New York. He won his case. They took him to federal court. He won his case again by proving on the people he saved. When I see people start dropping and shit, I assume there's something real going on. So I did some digging, looked up Dr. Sebi, saw all these things. But the dude, he's great, I'm sure. I don't know much about him. But he rambles so much, you guys. This dude rambles a lot. And he doesn't, as far as the YouTube videos, doesn't actually say a lot of the plants that he's using to cure people. So I just been digging. I've probably watched 4 hours of lectures on this guy in the past 12 hours and was able to find a handful of plants that he does mention. That's what this video is for. A concise spot with some of the plants, but also a little description of each of the plants, because when he does bring up the plants in his videos, he doesn't go into detail what they are, where they're from, side effects, these things. As you'll see, some of these plants are pretty intense, but so are some of the prescription drugs that were prescribed, and we think those are fine. So I'll let you guys be the judge. By the way, just a disclaimer, I'm not using this video to cure any diseases, to cure any illnesses. I'm not saying they do or do not cure things. I'm simply listing some plants that Dr. Sebi himself claims to have used to cure things. Are they true or not? That's not for me to decide. That's for you to decide. But I'm just showing you guys what I was able to find. Are you ready? Cool. So one of the first plants that came up was the Kalawala plant. Scientific name, Polypodium leucotomos, is a type of fern native to the tropical and subtropical regions of the Americas. It has a long history of use as a folk remedy in Honduras, where it is used for a variety of ailments. Commercial extracts of Polypodium leucotomos, which are also called anupsos, have been available since the 70s. Yada yada yada. Some of the things that it do. Well, no, that's it for Kalawala. So like I said, some of these things I can't find that much information on. My bad. Next one, Piper angustifolium, related to the pepper plant. So whenever you see Piper, it's in the pepper family. So this is related to pepper. Also known as Matico. Some of the herbal properties and actions. The main actions: heals wounds, stops bleeding, stops vomiting, eases nausea, aids digestion, expels gas, kills germs, bacteria, yeast, and fungi. So it's antimicrobial. Other actions, which is famous in the Dr. Sebi teachings, is it reduces mucus, calms coughs, decongestant. All these are mucus related. Aids urinary tract, kills viruses. It's an antimicrobial. Standard dosage: leaves, infusion 1 cup 3 times daily, fluid extract 2 to 3 milliliters twice daily. Capsules. Again, these aren't my findings. I'm not suggesting these. I'm not saying that these will cure any ailments that you have. This is strictly for informational purposes only. Moving along, Kankasa. Kankasa, also called chenchacha, or more popularly known as red willow bark, has been used for pain throughout history. During the time of Hippocrates in Greece around 500 BC, people were advised to chew on willow bark to relieve pain, fever and pain. Contains some chemicals, yada yada yada, menstrual cramps, migraines, osteoarthritis, a bunch of different kinds of arthritis. Basically, you get the bark, you chew on it, you spit it out. That's Kankasa. So Croton tiglium is another one that he brings up, which is pretty intense. So they use the entire, first of all, the entire plant is poisonous. So I'm definitely not recommending you guys do your research. If it's for you, if you're doing it of your own accord, I'm not suggesting any of it because this shit is intense. Let's see. Root seeds. Known hazards. All parts of the plant are poisonous. The seeds are known to be very poisonous and are used as fish poisoning or for criminal purposes. 4 seeds can be a lethal dose for a human adult. Now, I was doing some research on this, and people where this plant comes from. Where does it come from? Asia. Would take one seed as a detox. So a lot of Dr. Sebi's teachings were to expel, of course, to detox the body, get all the bad shit out. And that's what this does. You eat a seed, it'll make you poo your brains out, but not a happy poo, a really terrible poo where it hurts real bad and cramps are super bad. So the toxic principles are crotonol, an extremely vesicant resin, and crotin, a delayed action poison which causes blood clotting. Symptoms of croton oil poisoning are firstly pain at the back of the throat and then in the anus. A dose of bismuth is an immediate antidote. The seed and seed oil have been used in tropical Asia as a strong purgative, cathartic, and poison. So a purgative is something that makes you purge, which is sometimes a good thing. For example, tobacco. One of the main things with tobacco used in healing traditions is they make a juice out of it. You drink the juice, you vomit and poo your brains out. It's a purgative, which is healing, believe it or not, a lot of the times. That's what this does, but it's so potent that they make pharmaceutical drugs out of it. But because it's an organic compound, the shelf life isn't very good, so they don't really carry it that much. But it's just as strong, if not stronger, than most laxatives. Also a cathartic. Cathartic means something that stimulates emotions. Like cathartic music brings out your emotions. So this plant, cathartic, something that's supposed to release blocked emotions, blocked energy, etc. So we're moving on to the Shiha. Probably not pronouncing it right, but this is the next plant by Dr. Sebi. It's a shrub species often found in tiger bush and on hills in West Africa. Studies of the plant have revealed significant properties to support weight control, anti-aging, and aid in the purification of the body. Again, he likes to pick plants that are alkaline and that purify. The leaves of this traditional bush in a tea yield a rich golden infusion with a refreshing, mildly nutty flavor. It's also known as kinkeliba. It was discovered by the colonists and Arabs. It became the favorite infusion of the missionaries and military. They called it la tisson de longue vie, infusion of long life. So why do we call it Siha? Siha is a mystic name of the leaf. Ancestors and the holy man Father Bamba, a well-known Sufi guide from Senegal, emphasized that calling the leaf by its mystic name, Siha, will unlock even more properties to heal your body. Ancestors would whisper their health concern when enjoying a cup of this stuff. So moving on to Hoodia. Latin name Hoodia gordani. Origin, South Africa. Parts used, the fleshy part of the stem. Traditional uses and health benefits. Hoodia gordani has received lots of attention in the West because it is a known appetite suppressor and promotes weight loss. However, there are lots of products that do not contain the botanical substance, so care must be taken when you're buying the shit. Hoodia gordani is now used as a weight loss aid because of its appetite suppressing properties. It actually cuts down on the amount of calories consumed, thus burning up the fat reserves instead. An extract is also thought to have aphrodisiac qualities. So a number of these plants actually have aphrodisiac qualities. Alright, so the chemical from this plant acts like a glucose faker. Pretends to be glucose. It sends messages to the brain that lets your brain know that the appetite has been satisfied. I'm going to read just a short passage from Dr. Sebi. He says, "And I could go into the jungles of Africa. Yeah, the jungles where my mama lived. In that environment, I could find a plant known as kankansa, which if you are 90 or 100 years of age and you find yourself at a deficit sexually, you only have to take kankansa once and you are renewed again. That you get out of the jungles. Then we go away. We stay in the jungles. There's another one called Siha. It's a plant that Michael Jackson's son had the opportunity to receive the benefit from. He had a tumor in his frontal lobe, and he sneezed that out in 20 minutes. That herb is another jungle herb. So I tried looking up if this is true, if Michael Jackson actually took this stuff, or Michael Jackson's son took this stuff and was cured. Wasn't able to, but he claims to have had it. And I believe him because he claimed a lot of shit and proved it in court and won twice. Once at the state level and once at the federal level. So this dude knows his shit. So he says, then we go a little bit now to the south of Guinea. We find Namibia. Namibia has another plant known as hoodia, the ones we've just gone over. This is a plant that upon ingesting it, you will not eat for days because it is nourishing every cell in your body. The West says it's an appetite suppressor, which to me seems a bit misleading because according to Dr. Sebi, it's not that it's suppressing your appetite, it's that it's giving you so many nutrients and minerals that your body doesn't need any more food. Because most of us have enough fat reserves to last us weeks, right? If not a month for someone who's overweight. So as long as you're, in theory, as long as you're getting all the minerals that you need, and water, of course, you have all the energy and fat to go about all your regular metabolic processes. So what he's saying is this hoodia plant gives you enough nutrients to where you don't need food. Whereas the Western medicine says it's a food suppressant. Again, giving you the impression that you are hungry, but you're being tricked into not being hungry. So which is the case? Are you being tricked into not being hungry, or are you just getting enough minerals from this plant so that your body doesn't need food because it's burning the fat reserves? The more minerals a plant has, the more alkaline it tends to be. The less minerals it has, the more acidic it tends to be. That being said, it would make sense that this hoodia plant is incredibly alkaline following Dr. Sebi's diet if it contains enough minerals to keep you satisfied for an entire day. Something to think about. And then he brings up Iboga, which didn't go over before, but in Cameroon, the great Iboga, you guys might know it as Ibogaine. It's a drug that they use in healthcare facilities to treat successfully addictions to opiates, cigarettes, alcohol, all kinds of methamphetamines. He says the plant relaxes the body and the place. The plant that relaxes the body and place the body in a state of bliss. There could be no emotional problems. However, Iboga is illegal, and I do not recommend any of you guys buying or using it. I'm not promoting any of these things on here. I'm just sharing the information on here. What you decide to do with the information is completely and 100% your own doing and not mine. Cool. That's it, you guys. With that being said, there's some other plants that I didn't cover. There's also some noteworthy things, like Dr. Sebi hates on cauliflower, spinach, cabbage, which I thought was interesting because everyone says, for example, spinach is amazing. But I went online and I typed in the pH of a various amount of foods. Let me see if I can find it for you real quick. So pH, anything under 7 is acidic. Anything over 7 is alkaline. 7 is neutral. Brussels sprouts, 6 to 6.3 acidic. Cabbage, 5.2 to 6.8 acidic. Cactus, 4.7 acidic. Cantaloupe, carrots. He hates on carrots all the time. Anything that's domesticated is a hybrid and not natural in his eyes. Carrots, cauliflower, celery. Of course, cherries, because sugar is acidic. So things that are really sweet will tend to have higher acidity. But what I'm concerned about are the leafy vegetables, which are still acidic. And this isn't Dr. Sebi. This is from Clemson.edu, pH values of common foods and ingredients. Corn, cucumbers, eggplant, figs, beans. Grapes are super acidic at 2.8. Their grapes are more acidic than grapefruit. You would think that grapefruit would be more. Horseradish, jams, fruits, ketchup, leeks, mangoes, loganberries, lime, of course, lime juice. But you know what I'm saying, beets, blackberries, blueberries, all these things, broccoli, are acidic. So you hop on YouTube for a little bit and people tell you, oh, stay away from, because this alkaline thing isn't new. I heard about this long before Sebi. He might have instigated it, but I've heard it outside of his context. And the answer is eat greens, eat plants, because they're alkaline in nature. now I'm looking outside this what the actual pH levels are of things, and they're all acidic. All the main things we eat, all the average common household shit, everything is acidic. Not one thing in here. There's a lot. There's a huge list, you guys. Nectarines, okra, olives, onions, orange, papaya, parsnip. Even parsnip is acidic. Peaches, echinacea is acidic. Comfrey is acidic. Pimiento, pineapple, sweet potatoes, strawberries are super acidic at a 3 on the pH scale. Potatoes, prunes, pumpkins, radishes, raspberries, rhubarb, sauerkraut, spinach, all the squashes. Yeah, you guys. So interesting when they say our diet consists mostly of acid foods, because the first thing you think of is, oh, well, we eat a ton of meat and we, caffeine and cheese, and these things are all acidic and mucus forming. And you think, okay, well, I'll stay away from that and start eating greens. This shit's acidic too. What does that mean? I don't know. That's exactly, when I came across this list, that's when I started digging. I thought, okay, maybe I should use the shit that Dr. Sebi was using because he cured a bunch of people. Again, I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm not saying you should do it. Do your own research, make your own decisions. I'm not telling you to do anything. Don't do anything I'm saying. What I'm doing is researching what Dr. Sebi was using because I believe he was onto something. So that's it for that, you guys. Thanks for tuning in to the video. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. We got a bunch of cool shit. Magic, herbs, plants, fucking sorcery, wizardry, you name it, we got it. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next video.